We want to thank Loves for this absolutely awesome opportunity to talk and share with our drivers. I know our drivers are all excited and hoping.
Every week, it's like you just are sitting there waiting to find out if something's going to change. But right now, we're plugging away and thankful to be on the racetrack every week.
Michael, what's your favorite track? Do you have a favorite?
Yeah, my favorite. I grew up road racing, doing all the road course stuff, and so Watkins Glen and Road America and Sonoma. Those are probably my favorites. Just from it's probably where I have the most time and the best opportunity. But if you just look at statistically, Daytona's my best track. So but as far as enjoy the driving experience, the road courses are a lot of fun.
Yeah, I lived with my dad in California when I was raised, so I went to Laguna Seca quite a bit.
Yeah, that's a fun one. We're hoping that gets on the schedule. They talked about it for 2021. That's one of those, long shots, but it would be awesome.
He kind of answered it. I was wondering what he did before NASCAR. Did he get dirt racing or anything?
Yeah, so my background was pretty, I think, kind of unique to NASCAR because most guys race, local short tracks, dirt tracks, and kind of come up through the ranks that way. I started out in go-karts racing asphalt road courses and then moved into open wheel cars, Indy cars, sports cars, and I kind of got to a point where it was kind of hard to go much further than I had already gone, and there wasn't a lot of Americans actually racing open wheel at the time. And so I was young, and I met with Chip Ganassi, and he said, "You're young, you're American, you need to go NASCAR racing." And so I switched gears and got into a stock car, and I kind of had to change direction.
Question would you have for Michael? Now that
I'll help him with his sponsor first. Pilot has got the best coffee on the interstate. We all know that.
Okay.
A couple of questions. Who is your favorite driver of live out there? Your hero or?
Yeah, so I grew up an open wheel guy and watching open wheel racing. So I was always, a fan of Andretti's and Voigts and those guys that, they dabbled a little bit in NASCAR, but that wasn't their main deal. But in regards to NASCAR, now that I've been in it, most of the guys that I grew up watching that were winning races, I end up racing with. So, which is kind of crazy. When I was a kid, Jeff Gordon was just getting started, and Tony Stewart and Jimmy Johnson, and so then I get there and I'm like, hey, these guys are still here. So, but yeah, I was a big Tony Stewart fan because he was the guy that was successful making the transition from IndyCar to stock cars, and so yeah.
Okay, I'll take Stewart. He's good. Next question. Given that your background was mostly road racing, even in karts, where did you get this special touch to do super speedways? Was that?
I don't know. I think it was because I did my first couple so scared that I had to figure it out. I mean, if you just think about how different, road racing to racing at Talladega where you're four wide and wide open the whole time, it was pretty daunting at first, but more than anything, I just became a student of it and just watched old replays and watched the guys that were really good at it. And, everyone says that it's, anybody's chance or anybody can win there. But statistically, there's only 9 or 10 guys that actually win all the races over the last 10 years. So I just watched those guys and paid attention to what they do and how they approach it. And, that's helped me out a lot.
Okay, given these days of the pandemic and no practice and no qualifying, it seems like the karts, at least at Talladega, were incredibly competitive. And I guess I asked about the racing factor too, but do you see NASCAR trimming back on practice and qualifying, or is this a one-time deal only? Because it seems like you guys can race without practice. Or is that just damn it lucky, as they say?
No, I think it's gone pretty smooth. There hasn't been any big issues where, something's popped up that you would have caught in practice. You always have a few things set up wise and all that, but I like it. I think it's been good. I think the overall races have been probably more competitive because you do have guys that maybe don't hit it perfect or teams that don't hit it perfect. But yeah, I don't know what NASCAR will do with the schedule. I think that this gives them some options when they look at 2021. Whether or not they'll be able to shorten the weekends in regards to just practice and qualifying and all that. But there'll be some purists out there that say, well, it's you got to qualify and all those things. But I feel like it's put on a good show, and we haven't had any options either. I mean, this is what we've had to do. So I think everyone's done a good job of adapting to it. But the races, I think, have been really good this year.
A lot of times, unfortunately, people love it when you guys get in a big old wreck, right? But I'm sure it's the same with you as it is with us here at Bennett. Our safety is priority one here. So what have they done in the cars after these, unfortunately, some pretty horrific accidents? What are you guys doing today to really make sure that you stay safe in the car if you are in a bad accident there on the field?
Yeah. So there's kind of two parts to that question. So obviously Ryan Newman had that big crash at Daytona, and he was fortunate to walk away. He had some injuries, but nothing life-threatening. But from that, what they do is they take the car back to the NASCAR R&D Center, which is here in North Carolina, and they basically inspect and go through the car from front to back, and they see what failed and they see what held up well, and they kind of reassemble the crash, almost like how you would see a forensic scene of an airplane crash. And they have the data recorder, they have this a high speed that does very slow motion video inside the car that it triggers just like a black box would. And so they go back and they look at all the data and they look at all the video and they see what they can do to improve. So going from Daytona to Talladega, our cars actually got an update of some bars and some extra precaution and some safety areas where they thought that we could improve with Ryan Newman's crash. So it's constantly evolving. Unfortunately, sometimes it takes a big accident for there to be development, because they only know what they know. And until something fails, it's hard to know what is going to fail, So it's constantly evolving and changing. And but I feel like we've never took a step back. I mean, anytime something like this happens, we always make a step in the right direction. And the cars are incredibly safe to drive right now. I mean, you're always at a risk. I mean, at 200 miles an hour, there's so much that can happen. But as far as feeling confident in the safety, I feel really confident where we're at as a sport.
You don't get to sign your autographs for your fans, do all that pit stuff and everything. Is that an impact on you when you race? I mean, because you don't. I know, like some people, it's adrenaline. Get you going. You're talking to all the fans. Everything's going on. Is it different not having them there?
Yeah, it's definitely different not having fans there. In regards to the adrenaline and just kind of the atmosphere that's set with having, a lot of fans there, I mean, it's definitely different. I mean, we're walking out of the motorhome straight to the car and there's nobody there, right? So it's hard to get pumped up and high five yourself, right? So you gotta stay 6 feet away from anybody and everybody. So, it's definitely different. I mean, the experience is different. But the adrenaline rush comes when you strap in that car, and you still get that. And like you guys know, I mean, there's so many, industries and there's so many people out of work right now. I'm just thankful that we're getting to do it. I mean, I would love for fans to be there, but I'm also selfishly glad that we're able to do it and keep it rolling,
Well, I can tell you for sure, we're glad you're racing again because I'm tired of watching reruns and races from 1985.
I know it.
So it's nice to see you guys back on the track. So that's awesome.
And I've been signing plenty of autographs. I've done about 500 today, so I'm getting my workout in.
There you go, Michael. Kevin, you had a question real quick?
Yeah. Have you got to test the new car, the 2021 car?
Yeah, I don't even know what they call it now. The next gen, Gen 7, Gen 15, I don't know what it is. But so I have not tested the car. I think there's been, I don't know, don't quote me on it, maybe 3 or 4 test, and I think Joey Logano did one, Eric Jones did one, and I'm not sure who else did Austin Dillon did one. So I haven't got the opportunity to test it, but that all stopped. Once COVID-19 hit, they stopped the testing of the next gen car, and they're postponing it. I don't even know if they've given a date, but I know it's not coming out next year, which was the plan. 2021 was the plan. It's not coming out in 2021. So I haven't had the chance to drive it. I did go down and check it out at the R&D center. It's neat. It looks cool, and it'll be fun. We were all looking forward to it, but everything's kind of put on hold for at least a year. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. It's fun to represent Loves and all that they do with their employees and in their communities, but we all know the drivers are what keeps Loves going, and we know that the drivers are what's kept this country going too during this crazy time, and we're all very thankful for it. And we know you guys spend a lot of hours on the road and a lot of hours away from your family, and we all appreciate it.
Yeah, you have a safe and prosperous weekend. Do good,
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Michael, for your time. Thanks to our drivers for all you guys do. Thank you to Loves for helping to pull this together. It is Loves, not Pilot. That was pretty funny. Enjoyed that one.
That would be me. I'm sorry.
Hilarious.
Just to confirm, Love's coffee is the best, though, right?
But it is Pilot because they got the custom coffee now. It doesn't get any better than that.
Oh my goodness. Oh well.
I do it all.
Anyway, all right. Well, Michael, thank you. God bless you. We'll be praying for you, and we wish you the very best as the season progresses. And we pray for everybody in this country as we go through this COVID-19 that we get past it and we don't lose any more lives, and that we can get the fans back in the stands, and you can hear us screaming and all that good stuff. So.